everybody. My name is ELLE.MARLEIGH and welcome to my first official speed build. I have been playing The Sims for as long as I can remember, and I just have always been interested in building the houses. That's probably one of my favorite parts of the game. I think I got Sims 1 back in middle school, and even then I was just always building the houses. I actually had multiple notebooks that I would draw out the houses. I've just always been fascinated with architecture and design, and I saw a lot of people doing these speed builds on YouTube, and I was like, you know what? I build houses all the time. I should do this and document my houses. So here I am. As I was watching a lot of the speed builds, I was noticing that people build their houses very differently than how I build them, and it might be intentional with how they want the video to come out for YouTube, but the way that I do it is, as you can see, I first have a layout that I want to do in mind, and that is what I do first. There's always an inspiration that I have from somewhere, whether it be a house from Pinterest or Instagram that I saw, or just something that I've thought about in my mind, but I first think about the layout, and then I will later go out and create the outside, versus how I've seen a lot of people do it is they kind of create the outside first and then try to fit the layout within that style. So when I'm building a house, I usually have a family in mind, and I know that there are certain aspects that I need to incorporate into the layout, and the best way to make sure that everything fits is to create a house from the inside out. And I've realized that most of my houses are pretty large. For instance, this one here ended up being 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, and then 3 extra rooms downstairs. I kind of pictured that the family that I would move into this had like 5 children, a parent who's either an athlete and an artist, so those extra rooms downstairs would definitely come in handy with creating a workout room, a studio, and also just like an area for the kids to do homework or to do other activities like play piano or play chess or anything like that. So as you can see here, I am struggling hardcore when it comes to the roof. I end up deleting it and starting over multiple times, so I won't bore you with this. I'm just not a huge fan of the whole roofing situation. I do eventually figure it out, so thank goodness. So it finally comes together, as you can see, and I kind of had to do a little bit of a workaround of trying to figure out the best way to make it all work. I ended up adding these really cute windows that came with pets, and then some of these windows, I will try to link the windows that I'm using here down below. It was a pack that I downloaded. I'm pretty sure I have the link still, so I will definitely include that. And then I just added some cute little window boxes with the cute little yellow flowers. It's kind of just one of those things that I love to do on all my houses. And then as you can see, I kind of just come around and add the windows where I think best fit. And then I will eventually go on to the inside and I will start decorating, and I leave the rest of the outside until later. So when it came to the inside and decorating, I was really trying to go for a modern but farmhouse vibe. With the kitchen here, I first really wanted to make sure that the back staircase was able to work, and it did, and it's so cute. I just think a back staircase is just, I want to say romantic, I don't know, I just really love it. But I realized with a lot of my houses, I have the whole open concept feel, and I just love that whole, I love the idea of an open concept because I like to think that the parents would be cooking dinner and they're able to keep an eye on their kids, whether they're doing homework at the dining room table or watching a TV show or playing video games. So with the dining room, I kind of went a little, I want to say I kind of went out of my comfort zone, I guess, with this one. I'm not someone who usually does these bright colors, but I found this beautiful artwork that had these gorgeous oranges and reds, and I really wanted to incorporate those colors in the rest of the downstairs. And it worked out perfectly because I was able to, once I got over to the family room area, I was able to find a similar piece of artwork, but just in a smaller version that could work above the couch. And I just decided to go with the neutral color couches just to kind of pull out those grays as well in that artwork. I think it ended up turning out pretty darn pretty if you ask me. I was struggling pretty hard with the rug, as you can see. I actually ended up choosing a rug that I chose as the very first rug that I tried out, but it's okay. I had to try different things and see what would work, but I ended up loving how it turned out. And then I just started adding little details here and there, like some plants and some video game equipment. I'm not someone who really loves too many trinkets just because that's not how I live my day-to-day life. And then I also just added this cute subway tile to the backsplash of the kitchen. I just love that look. It really just adds it. I feel like it pulls together that modern farmhouse vibe that I really am always trying to achieve. So when I moved over to the room that's off of the foyer area, I guess you can consider this maybe like a living room or a study, but I was really trying to decide what vibe I wanted to go for in here. Like I said, I'm usually someone who does the bright and airy kind of feel, but I did try to go maybe a little more, I guess, masculine and library feel. It did not work, as you can see, but I did try to go out of my comfort zone just a tad bit. It didn't work, but I tried. I ended up choosing a accent wall here of this really beautiful whitewashed brick, and then had the accent colors be a dark navy blue. I just loved how this turned out. I was also able to add the artwork above the desk area. I figured this would be another great area for the kids to do their homework, or maybe someone to do some writing. It's just really up to them. And then I moved over to these 3 extra rooms that I was talking about in the beginning. Like I said, I have a workout room, and I wanted it to make it fun, so I added this graffiti paint to a accent wall. I'm all about accent walls. You will see that. I don't know. Something about the accent walls I just really love. And then I made the downstairs bathroom. I wanted to make sure that it also kind of followed in the same, I guess, vibe as the rest of the house, just really clean and fun. So I used the wallpaper from one of the updates that has like the leaf feel. I wanted to do more of the gray though, just to kind of make it a little more neutral. And then I moved over here to the other, I guess, office space. It has the piano, and I kind of was just trying to figure out like, how did I want this to work? I ended up choosing this really pretty turquoisey colors to be the color of, I guess, the entire room. And I figured this as well could be a place for the kids to be, kind of learn music, read, do their homework, play on the computer, or anything in between. So I finished up this room by just adding some cute little details. I just love how it ended up. I added a little reading area, and then just added a really pretty pink color to the walls. And then I quickly jumped over to the foyer area, which I know, I'm kind of crazy. I'm all over the place, not really following any sort of plan, I guess you could say, but I get an idea and I'm like, I need to go do that now. I just really loved this console, and I had an idea for the foyer area, and I love the details on it. They're absolutely beautiful. And I just added these pretty little books to the shelves, and then some fun little things on top. I was having a hard time with what I really wanted to do because, again, I'm not someone who really loves too much clutter, but I do wanted to make it sure it looked lived in. So I just added another piece of artwork that tied into the rest of the house, and then just added the coat rack to the front door. I still felt like it was missing something, so obviously trying to figure out either a rug or some sort of a runner. And then one of the last things that I added was over to the other wall. I felt like it was so blank, and I didn't want to add another piece of artwork because I felt like I already had a lot. So I found this really cute bench, and I thought it worked out perfectly. So then I went finally back and finished off the last room. I started off thinking, oh, it could be a game room, but then I quickly decided, oh wait, what if I have an artist and I can make this in their studio? And I think this is the one room in the entire house that I'm okay with it being cluttered, just because it makes it look like they work hard and they just really enjoy what they do. So I added a lot of pieces on the ground as well as on the wall, and then I added this rug to the bottom with just like some fun pops of color. I really love how it ended up, and it just kind of is this, I guess, romantic-y area of the house. I love how it turned out. As I move upstairs, one of the main things that I was trying to figure out is which room I wanted to use as the master bedroom. When I finally decided on this room here, I knew I had to make a few changes, just making the bathroom a little bit larger, so I took a little bit of the actual bedroom space away, but that's fine because it was this weird little alcove. But I had some grand idea for the master bathroom, so I knew it had to be done. I'm not someone who puts too much emphasis on the design of the master bedroom just because it's not somewhere that I see them hanging out too often. I feel like they're more of family people that would be hanging out downstairs, maybe in their studio or working out or just being together as a family. And then as I moved on to the master bathroom, like I said, I wanted to do something a little differently here with the design, and I have seen this in real life where the toilet and the shower are separate from the main area of the bathroom, and I wanted to test this out, so I just made this doorway here that separates the two areas. So you have that one area there, and then like the get ready with me area on the other side. And one of the things that I was kind of, I guess, struggling with would be the color scheme. At first I thought, oh, I want to do the same color scheme throughout the house, which is pretty realistic if you ask me, but I also found this really dark wood paneling that really spoke to me. So I decided I wanted to use that, which then made me go with the darker color scheme, and it honestly turned out a lot better than I could ever imagine. So the next room here was the bedroom that you would see when you first come up the main staircase. At first I really wanted to have two beds in there, and I figured it would be great for two brothers to share. But I quickly realized that with the design that I was going for, there would be absolutely no room for any other elements like a reading area or a desk. So once I removed that second bed, I was able to create this cozy reading area with the black beanbag chair and a bookshelf. As you can see, the color scheme for this room was something that I figured could be for any age. I think it's playful for a child with the lime green, but it is also something a teenager could transition into, and I think by adding the accent wall of the black brick, it makes it even more appealing for any age. So moving on with the bathroom that is attached to the room, I wanted to allow the color scheme to flow into there as well. So having the black tiles cover the walls and just a few green accents with the rug, light, and mirror was something that was really important. And I also added this fun, colorful piece of art over the tub just to add a few other pops of color. So now moving on over to the bedroom next door, and I was finally able to incorporate the two beds in there like I originally wanted. I absolutely love the shape of this room. It was super cozy in my opinion with the two big windows, and I thought it was perfect room for two little sisters. I wanted to go with a more feminine and girly style and color scheme, so it's absolutely pink and purple in here. It turned out adorable. There wasn't too much room to add too many details, but you're obviously more than welcome to add whatever you think fits best. I do wish I added some window coverings to add more element to this, but that's okay. Overall, this room turned out adorable. I just think it's so sweet how you walk in and they have their little playhouse, and you come over and then there's their bedroom area. I think it's so sweet that it's kind of separated in that sense, and then pink and purple is just obviously the right answer always. So as I went over to the bathroom that's connected to this room, I think obvious answer again was to have a pink tiled bathroom. So one of the elements of this bathroom that I absolutely loved was the windows. So I thought it was the perfect area for a freestanding tub. And then I added this gorgeous artwork that kind of incorporated the pink as well as the purple. I could definitely get ready in this bathroom. I'm just saying. So as I moved over to, I believe this is the fourth bedroom. Yeah, the fourth bedroom. As you can see, I started off with this blue turquoisey color as the color scheme. Quickly did not like that because I was struggling with the rug again. I don't know really what I was trying to go for, but then all of a sudden I decided, you know what, I really like this zebra rug. What can I do with this? And I just kept going through all the different colors that bed offered, and I was like, oh, this one works. Maybe not. And then I finally ended up with this red and gray black kind of scheme, and I absolutely just love how this room ended up turning out. I think it is super cool, if you ask me. It just is kind of, it's dark and kind of mysterious, but I don't know, it's just, I think it's perfect for a teenager, maybe even a child if they're into that kind of stuff. I don't know. But then I moved on to the last bedroom. My idea in my head would be more of like a teenage girl would live in here. I kind of made the room just a bit bigger because I felt that hallway space was wasted. Again, I was struggling with the colors that I wanted to do in here. I knew that I wanted it to be more elegant, but also colorful, but it was kind of just all over the place. I finally ended up choosing this green and, not green, my bad, teal and yellow sort of feel, and by adding the yellow pops of color, and then this, I just love the playfulness of the wall paint that I chose. It just kind of tied everything together, and then just adding some pieces of artwork here and there. And then the bathroom, I thought, again, having the bay windows looking out over their backyard was the perfect spot for that freestanding tub again, and I was right, I loved it. And then moving out into the landing area, hallway area of the second floor, I just wanted to make it cozy and kind of a place to hang out for the kids. So I made this bookshelf here. I first thought, oh, I could make it like a bright kind of happy feel. For some reason, I'm not ever able to stick with it, and I always end up changing the colors to more of a neutral or darker colors. As you can see, I ended up with these navy blue colors, and then I kind of just added the desk area for another place for the kids to do homework, since I figured that this family would probably have a lot of kids and need places to do homework. And then I changed all the colors of books because that's me. I can't do bright for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with me. And then this area right here, I figured it was a perfect spot for a like linen closet, kind of a central spot for all of the bedrooms to grab a towel or whatever else they needed. And then I just added an extra bath upstairs that it just has a bathtub shower combo, and it's just super simple. So finally, the part that maybe you're all waiting for. I don't know. I don't know why I do this last. It's just like one of those things that I always know what I kind of want the houses to look like, but depending on, so the rest of the neighborhood is very much the same style of this house. Again, kind of farmhousey, craftsman style, I guess you could say. So I decided on this gray shingle that comes with the Pets expansion pack, and then I chose on the sides just to use a gray siding, and then from there decided just to kind of add more accents as far as like with the columns and the roofing and everything in between with the, I guess, like the railings, and kind of trying to figure out what look I wanted to go for. I really like how it turned out in the end. And then in the backyard, I decided to do this little bit of like a trellis kind of look. I thought it turned out really sweet and cute, and then I kind of just added the 2 staircases, and I figured this would be a good place for like a barbecue as well as a table to eat outside on like a warm summer night or whatever else they feel. Another place to do homework maybe, because there's so many kids. I don't know. Moving on to the landscaping. I'm not someone who does a whole bunch of landscaping. I would say I'm more interested on the inside of the house, I guess. Maybe not. I don't know how to explain it. But I just added some fun wildflowers kind of here in the backyard, and the backyard ended up being a lot smaller than I had anticipated. A lot of the other houses that I build have a larger backyard that has a room for a pool and a basketball court, but this one did not. So I just added some pretty landscape here. I didn't want to overwhelm it too much, but I definitely wanted to add some color. And then I just added the few little things that I wanted to do as far as a basketball hoop. I ended up moving it because I did not like how it was there. I felt like it cut off a lot of the backyard, and it didn't allow me to make a fence that I really felt like would tie the entire backyard together. So I ended up moving that, and then I do like how it turned out there. I was having struggles with this pathway situation, still learning it. Played The Sims for my entire life, but you know, things that you don't really use too often, right? And then I found this really weepy, willowy kind of tree, and I thought it was perfect. I think the garden, this is like what I would definitely consider the garden romantic. Is that okay to call it that? Am I using that word too much? Maybe. I don't know. But then this cute little bench under it, and then just a little more flowers, and then the white monkey bars. I just thought everything was just adorable, and I love it, and I think it turned out really cute. And honestly, I'm really proud of myself with how much landscaping I did put here. You might be thinking, really? You didn't do a whole lot. But you know what? I'm not someone who does this too often, so I'm learning, okay? Okay. And then I just added some windows to the back of the house too, because I thought the back is just as important as the front, and it deserves cute little windows up the roof. So that's what I did. Really keeping y'all on your toes, because then I go to the front yard, and then I finally start designing the landscaping here. I kind of had this idea in my head of what I wanted it to look like, but then it just didn't really work out exactly. But again, just kind of the wildflower feel, and then I wanted to add that kind of same tree to the front of the yard, but on the opposite side, to just kind of add that element of more of a craftsman style, I guess, or farmhouse, whatever you want to call it. And again, another little bench that would be a cute little area to sit. And I think that this is pretty much what I ended up doing and deciding on for the front of the house. Didn't really go too far as landscaping. Like I mentioned, I just added this cute little shrub fence around the entire backyard, which I felt like made it really cozy. And then I kind of just added this pop of color with the purpley shrubs, and then a little fountain that I thought was adorable. I think everything's adorable. I'm sorry, whatever. It's okay. You'll either learn to love it or not. I don't know. And then I just added a few small details throughout the house that I had thought about while I was landscaping, and then I kind of just look it once over, and then it's done. So after the landscaping, I kind of just went inside and added some few details here and there, because I just wanted to make it a little more lived in. I guess the best way to describe my style when building a house is more of like model home look versus something that's been lived in for 10 plus years. So that's just my thing, and I just added a coffee table, some lights under the cabinets in the kitchen, and a few other things here and there. But thank you so much for watching my first speed build. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like I said, I think it's a little different than maybe what is out there. Maybe not. Maybe I just haven't come across anything that's similar to this, but hopefully you enjoyed it. This house is available for you in the gallery. You can just search for ELLE.MARLEIGH. Just copy and paste the name you see below on YouTube, and you shall find me. But thank you, and I will see you guys all in the next speed build. I guess you can't see me technically, so I don't know why I said that. But you know what I mean. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.